What's up, guys? Alan here with EatSleepTrade.net, and we are going to be taking a look at the top stocks going into next week. And first up, let's go ahead and talk about the S&P 500. I know it's been a while since we've been able to get a video up for you guys, but the market has definitely been pretty interesting. It's not been very easy to trade over the last couple of weeks, but it really has maintained this trend that it's been putting in. And I've kind of highlighted some of the areas we can use to guide ourselves as we move forward and try to decipher as to whether we are going to enter into a bear market, get a pullback correction, or are we going to continue into new highs like we have been doing now for practically the entire year. So it has been overall great for swing trading and a lot of volatility even for day traders and everybody. So first thing to note is obviously our moving averages. The 20-day moving average is something we always want to keep an eye on, and we have been just testing below that now, as you can see. So of course the next major moving average for me to check is going to be that 50-day moving average. We start getting around the 50-day moving average. That's really where we want to see the S&P 500 holding up like it has done here in the past multiple times. And as we start getting into these areas, that's where you start trading safely. Really keep your risk tight and be careful in case that doesn't reclaim on those moving averages and we get a nice sell-off correction going in the market. So those are going to be two major areas that you're going to want to watch, the 20 and 50-day moving averages. And another area we highlighted here is going to be these two prior lows. And they look pretty significant to me. They are long hammer candles, and those dips were bought up, showing some pretty significant support areas. So if the chart was to start breaking down below that set of higher lows, then that's going to tell you there's going to be more sellers coming in, and those buyers at that support area are not there anymore to support the stock. So that's going to be important to keep an eye on. And another thing is this 25, 66, 67 area. It's going to be a pretty decent support area. You can see all the bounces through here off that support area. So again, that is going to be significant. You could see the shakeout right through that support area. It breaks, everyone panics, it reclaims, and a lot of shakeout. So those are going to be the areas to definitely keep an eye on. And of course, as for resistance, the prior highs up here at 25.97. Of course, what do we want to see? We want to see the S&P 500 up into new highs and stocks rallying up. So let's go ahead and take a look at our top watch list for going into next week. All right, first up, guys, is going to be AMMA, Alliance MMA. Brought this stock to you guys a while back, a few months back, and we had this huge breakout up to $3, and it was a huge win for us, and we were able to scale out of our position during that time. Still have some shares of that, and I've actually been accumulating a little bit more. Like the chart, like the way it's holding up, and I think that it is going to possibly have another big rip again on big volume like it's done here in the past. So definitely one that's been on my top watch since I first announced it on Twitter and began trading it, and I've been trading it ever since. Still have some, and it will remain on there as it continues to consolidate. BKS, another one that haven't been on the top watch for a while because it has been selling off. However, it is making a little bit of a bottoming pattern, and you've got that high relative volume that just come in trying to break out of that set of lower highs. So I think it's just worth watching. It is definitely not my favorite setup by any means, but I think it's something that sticks out in our list of stocks on the swing trading watch list, and one to note mostly just because of that relative volume. CC, another one, had a recent gap down, been selling off, but just had some recent relative buying volume. So I'm going to keep an eye on it. Again, not a favorite setup, not something I'm rushing in to buy, but something worth keeping an eye on because it is something that has definitely done well for us in the past, and we do got some buying volume coming in after a gap down and a pretty decent sell-off. Next, let's look at CONN. Now this is a great setup and definitely one of my favorite setups going into next week. It is an obvious flag right there, an obvious consolidation pullback. You've got that 20-day moving average support. It's exactly what you want to see in a setup. You want to buy as close to support as possible, keeping your risk as minimal with your buy or your sell targets up at a prior resistance area, and give you the best risk reward. Beautiful consolidation and setup, lots of recent relative volume, and one that is definitely on the top watch going into next week. Another one that popped up on the scans this week as well is CROX, and had this really sharp steep sell-off and then immediate rally back up right to those highs, and I am just interested in watching those highs right there to see if we can get a breakout above. Really like the setup right there with the lot of recent relative volume, a strong trend. You can see the obvious trend with that 20-day staying right above that 50-day moving average, and it looks like we could see a pretty big pusher move up through that 1080 1070 area. Take a look at DYN going into this one. Another great little gap up, and now it's just consolidating, kind of making a flag. Looks like it was a possible earnings gapper, and 20-day moving average is catching up now. So again, you've just got that entry area near support, which gives you great risk and a nice tight consolidating range, big relative volume, an obvious trend that's been going for a few months now. So I'm going to keep a close eye into that next week. One that is definitely one of my favorite setups going into next week with the relative volume and the trend. Great consolidation. Make sure you keep a close eye on DYN. ERI, another good one. If you guys follow me on Twitter, then you know we've been trading this one quite a bit. It's in that gaming sector, falls in with SGMS, which just had that recent breakout as well, and also falls in there with PENN, another one that we've been trading and successful with as well. All three of those stocks been trending just as you see right here. And again, beautiful earnings gapper, consolidating, pulling back, and we got a nice little pennant flag set up and an obvious trend again. Recent relative volume, lots of positive things, and just another one to keep this on top watch, keep a close eye on it, and prepare for the breakout of that pullback or that flag setup right there. Next, let's look at the MJNA. I've brought this up to you guys before, that it's one of those pot stocks that I like to consolidate, and this is recently just had a pretty good ramp, and it is pulling back, consolidating near that 20-day moving average. You just had the federal legalization of CBD oils, or CBD, medical CBD, so that's gonna pump up these medical marijuana stocks. MJNA is one of the most known, and I think was like the first publicly traded medical marijuana stock. So pretty interesting there, and definitely has a lot of fan club and people following it. So it does get these nice big rips and pops where you can always get some nice sellouts, and again, just accumulate it up, wait for those pops, and sell right out of them. Let's see next. Let's look at RMBS. This one came off the scan this week as well, and you can see it's just had a massive rally from 11 up to almost just under 15, and it's been holding that 20-day moving average. So I'm just going to add it to the watch list. If we get some entries or pullbacks near that 20-day or some type of consolidation, it could definitely give an entry, or also give an entry for the breakout over like 1480, 1490, setting that as your risk for a 52-week high continuation. Take a look at SEMG. Not sure why that was on the watch list. I don't think it was supposed to be. So scratch SEMG. That's definitely nothing I see there that I like. TLRD. If you guys have been following on Twitter, then you were aware of the trade that we just made in that. Made a nice move right over 17 for us. Selling right into resistance just like we wanted to. We still have this one rolling, and we're just going to wait for a pullback consolidation and see if we could add some more. Our first buy was at 15.25, so we've got quite a bit of cushion on this right now. Even with the red candle there after the breakout closing at 16.50, there's no issues or worries as far as that goes. So definitely going to give this some time to consolidate and see if we can't pick up some more and add back to our current position that we have running on that one. Next is URBN. Just another great one. We've traded this again, just rotating, trading around that core position, and has continued to put in new highs and continue to trade high relative volume. And it's just been on this nice trend for the last 3 or 4 months, and we've been riding that wave. So again, just high relative volume, and the chart's breaking out. It stays on top watch. It probably will remain until this trend is broken. Not looking to add any here. Again, wait for the pullback consolidation, get near that 20-day moving average, 50-day moving average, where you've got the best risk versus reward. Alright guys, that is going to wrap it up for the quick video for the week on the weekly top watch list. If you guys want to, there is the swing trading watch list right there. Get a copy of that and get it written down for yourselves. That is where I'm pulling these scans from to create the weekly top watch list. I just went through and cleaned that list up with the little corrections we've had in the market, and everything's seeming like it's going to want to pick up now. So it was a good opportunity to kind of get in there and clean out some older things. So make sure you guys get a fresh copy of that, and we will see you guys next week into trading, and make sure you guys stay safe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.